All right, we're ready to go, Jeff.
All right, well, welcome everybody once again to our weekly Zoom. Thanks as always for taking the time to join in. As I always start the Zooms, in case there's anybody new joining us tonight, that these Zooms are really primarily about the business aspect of this and building your businesses and things like that. We don't spend a lot of time talking about the products necessarily, but it goes without saying that if it weren't for the products and our belief in the products, then probably none of us would be here. So we always start off by just saying, listen, we're here for a reason. These products are great. They're helping so many people. Look forward to hearing any testimonies that we have from anybody at the end of tonight's presentation. Again, we're trying to keep these things short and sweet. I will tell you, Billy alluded to it, maybe before you, some of you jumped on tonight, that we have our big event in Mooresville, which is just outside of Charlotte, this Saturday, 10 o'clock. And we're going to be doing a presentation which includes an introduction to what CBD is in general, how it might benefit people, certainly talking about a reaction and what makes our product different, and also what makes our product better, in my opinion. So we're going to be doing that, and then we're also going to be introducing people to the business opportunity, because we all believe in that very, very much too. So that's this Saturday at 10 o'clock. If you guys are anywhere near the area, or if you have anybody that you know in the area and you want to, send them our way, I think Candace maybe, and Billy and Lindy have shared the event. So keep your eyes open for that. And we're looking forward to it. We've got a great turnout and a great response just based on reaching out to people that we know, people that are already ambassadors, but certainly encouraging people to come and listen to us introduce this to everybody. So we're looking forward to it, because I think we've got, 60, 70, 80 people, and we're hoping that a lot of them show up for us. So we're all really, really excited about that. So for tonight, I was thinking about what tonight's topic could be. And I know that we had such success for people when we talked about the business builders, things that actually help you build your business by helping you, whether it's streamlining your approach, streamlining the process, learning anything with regard to how to communicate this in an effective way. And so I spent a lot of time during the week researching stuff and come across a lot of material. And every once in a while I come across something that I go, that's important. So I have a slideshow we put together tonight, and it has to do with 8 successful direct marketing phrases and how to use those. Now, these are going to be able to be used in conjunction with the scripts and all the other tools that we have in the back office. And again, find out what in this works for you, what jumps out at you. I said something last week that I think is really, really important, and I've repeated it to people several times this week. When I believe I was talking to Kim Clayton last week, who is dealing with a lot of stuff, not only having a job during the day, but she's also a caretaker for her father at night. She spoke up just a few minutes ago. And her question was, I just don't know if I have the time. And what it brought up is that, first of all, we're all different in terms of our schedule and how much time we can commit to this. But the key here is to duplicate this and to make it replicatable and repeatable. And I said, we need to find a process, one process that we can do 100 times, as opposed to 100 different processes for 100 different people. That's where the scripts come in, I think, to help you guys and me and all of us. And I think these things tonight also can be added to your toolkit or your quiver, or whatever you want to call it. So let's go ahead and start that. We're going to talk about some of these phrases in a little more detail. And again, these are little things. This is not an in-depth thing, but find out something that may strike a nerve for you in this and see how you can incorporate it. Because I spend a lot of time, as I said, researching, finding out what people that are successful are doing. And because that's the stuff that we all need to be duplicating. So 8 successful direct marketing recruiting phrases. First thing, the first slide, the next slide coming up, is addressing the #1 self-limiting belief for a lot of people that get involved with a situation where you're having to go out and maybe outside of your comfort zone, talk to people, and share the opportunity. The number one self-limiting belief is the people that believe, honestly, deep down in their core, I'm not a good salesman. So once you've exhausted your neighbors or your family or your very close circle of friends, what do you do if you have this belief in yourself that you are not a good salesman? I will say, I believe that the first thing that we need to help everybody get over is to not look at this as sales. This is really about sharing this amazing product and sharing this amazing business opportunity. Have I said in the past, we have, in my opinion, one of the best comp plans out there in the entire industry. I'm talking about the direct marketing industry. As you know, Katie Maple, our director of marketing, who came over from a very large, successful global direct marketing company, came over and said, this is the best plan I've ever seen. And that's saying something when you have industry pros saying that. It's not just something you're hearing from me or somebody from the company or a successful ambassador like Billy. So not to look at this as sales is, I think, the number one thing that can help. Let's go to the next slide. So successful direct marketing recruiting phrases, okay? They're pretty simple, okay? Number one rule is the less you say, the better. I have had to learn, and I hope everybody else is also picking up on this over the last, say, 2 months of Zooms, where it's not about spewing out every single piece of scientific knowledge there is to know about the CBD industry and full spectrum. Of course, it helps you if you know a way to communicate about it intelligently and in an informed way, but it was likened in one of our presentations to taking a drink from a fire hose. So you need to focus on not having to spew out everything you've ever learned about the products or the science of the products. It's really about asking questions. We've talked about chasing people. And once again, this is not sales. It's not about convincing anybody to do anything. Your job is to invite them to take a look or maybe try a sample of the product. That's the number one goal, is to get them to open their minds to trying the product. And then hopefully convert them into ambassadors. These recruiting phrases we're going to be covering, as it says, they're not pushy, they're not salesy, they're very natural, non-intrusive, non-annoying, and they're also very hard to object to. So it's amazing how just turning a phrase or using a certain word or not using a certain word can help you communicate this in a way that that leads to more recruits, basically. So here's a list of recruiting phrases, okay? Number one, I'm in a hurry. Now, we've covered this a little bit in the past. So when you're inviting somebody to check out the opportunity, always be in a hurry. So if somebody says, hey, can we talk about this tomorrow? Your response should be, or should not be, yeah, I'm doing nothing tomorrow. I've got all day. When is good for you? And again, we're talking about the psychology here. So this idea, the psychology of I'm in a hurry, suggests that you're busy, whether it's doing this or other things in your life. And let's go ahead and pin down a time. But this is the very quick thing to say, listen, I can't talk about it right now. If you run into somebody at the store, you run into somebody at a party, somebody approaches you when you're out, somebody emails you, always be busy and always be in a hurry, okay? So it's about opening them up to the next step of the process, okay? So the rest of this would go something like, I'm in a hurry, but listen, I wanted to see if you could do me a quick favor. It'll take about 15 minutes. So notice that does not include any part of the company, the product, or the service. We're just asking them to give us a little bit of time to show them the presentation. That's the first goal, and that's the first win, if that makes sense. Let's go to the next slide. Another important phrase, would you be open to this? Okay, this recruiting phrase is bank, as it says. This is really important. It's not intrusive. You're giving them the power, okay? You're not asking them to join. You're not asking them to do anything now. All you're doing is asking them a very simple question, which is, in this case, are you open to making some extra money? And this is a really hard question to say no to, because people, number one, don't like to come across as closed-minded. Helps you figure out their mindset. And if they're not even open to looking at an opportunity, then they're probably not a good fit for your business anyway. And you're going to come across people that aren't good fits for the business. And if you're having to chase them or convince them, that's not going to be a good situation for anybody, you or them. Okay, and that's okay. We talk about it all the time. You just move on. Okay. The phrase at the bottom of this slide, I think, is really, really important. Would you be open to other ways of making money if it didn't interfere with what you're already doing? Again, these are non-intrusive questions. These are questions also that can be great subjects for a Facebook Messenger post or text. Simply, like we talked about, are you familiar with CBD products? Are you taking CBD products? Do you know anything about CBD products? Right up there with those is this introduction, which is, would you be open to ways of making money if it didn't interfere with what you're already doing? Again, I don't know how anybody would say no to that question. And if they do, then, like I say, enjoy your run. Next slide. This is a really important phrase too, because I do think, and when I talk about this, I talk about myself too, and the things that I've learned in the last 7 months. And I think I have in common some things with a lot of you. And the key is to not chase and not to force a square peg into a round hole. Okay? This is a no pressure statement. And it lets them know right off the bat that you're not trying to get them to join, you're not trying to convince them, you're not trying to coerce them, you're not trying to manipulate them. And it also conveys the fact that you're fine if they decide to join you or not. And this is the posture you want. I think some of us, and I say some of us because I think I was very much like this early on. I was so focused on closing the deal and getting them to sign up that I did a lot of convincing. Okay? This is a great product. This is a great opportunity. It's a great comp plan. It's your business, and you are bringing that opportunity to them. You don't need them. This is really important. This is right up there with the saying, don't take everything personally. You also need to put out an air of confidence and success. It says, don't be addicted to the outcome. Your business will grow with or without any one single person. Again, the point of the phrase is that you at least want them to take a look at what you're doing. And that's what all these phrases are designed to do, to get them to the engagement. And we're going to talk about a sales funnel next week as far as the steps in that. But this is part of the process. All you're asking for is basically the opportunity to get them to commit some time, a few minutes, and to focus while they're doing that and allow you to present the opportunity. One thing I think that we know, that if somebody is looking for some extra money and you have them in a very focused situation where they've committed some minutes, there are a lot of people that listen to this that had no intention of following through, but after they hear it, it's hard not to go to the next step, if that makes sense. So again, in steps, this is the very first step, all these phrases, getting them to commit to, giving you just a few minutes to share your opportunity, okay? So at the bottom it says, this may or may not be a fit for you, but I definitely love for you to understand what I'm doing because we may be able to help each other out. There's two things that I think are very powerful. Number one, finding out from the person through questions and things like that, what it is that they're looking for. So it's always solution-based. I just lost my train of thought because I'm reading, but sorry about that. But yes, to understand what you're doing is really, really important. And to ask them to, if nothing else, support your business and what you're doing, even if they're allowing you to practice or rehearse on them as far as their presentation. So next slide. This is another good one too. I find that in sales, and again, quote unquote sales, I find that it's very powerful to ask people for help. I think that's a very, very powerful tool. So in this case, if somebody is not interested, even after they've heard the presentation, to follow that up with basically the attitude of, well, listen, can you help me? This is what I'm looking to do. I've explained to you. Do you know anybody else? Because you might know some people I should be talking to. I firmly believe, as I think we all do, if somebody believes that they don't need the reaction product, I said in a post last week, there's two types of people: those that know they need a product like reaction, and those that need it but don't know. So there is somebody that says that they don't need the product, but I guarantee you that they have at least 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, and it goes on, people around them that could benefit from the product. Same with the business opportunity. So if they're too busy, if they don't want to commit to it, if they've got some, stick up their butt about network marketing, what is it that attracted you to this opportunity? There are people out there just like you and just like me. And that's what we're hoping to find. So the phrase that pays them a compliment, basically, it implies that they're in a position to help you. So, you're one of the most collected people I know, or connected, it should say. You're one of the most connected people I know, or, you seem like a pretty connected person. That's a compliment. And people like to feel important and like to feel good. So you'd be surprised how many people might say, And if they don't, one thing we've learned about this is they might say, I don't know, or they might say no now. But again, no doesn't mean no. No means not right now. Okay, this is another really powerful phrase. They're all powerful. Okay, this one came from Eric Worre, which is one of the top network marketing trainers. Billy knows all about him. Billy's been following him. If you guys don't know him, I suggest maybe Googling him and looking up some of the stuff, because he is one of the leaders in the world with network marketing. And this is powerful. The phrase, if I blank, 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 would you blank, blank, blank? So if I can do this, or if I can share with you some information that suggests there's a solution to some of the reasons why you might need either the product or the business opportunity. But you need to get them to commit. And this is where the words are so important, because just by phrasing this in a way that's incorrect is a big difference between success and failure, really. So it's not, hey, I'm going to send you a link, take a look at it when you can. Pin people down. And you can do it in a way that's not intrusive and not pushy and not salesy. If I sent you a link to a 15-minute video, would you watch it by tonight? Notice it doesn't say, could you watch it by tonight? Or can you watch it in the next couple of days? It says, and it doesn't say, sometime in the next week, I'll get back with you. If I sent you a link to a 15-minute video, would you watch it by tonight? Or if I sent you some samples, would you try them by tomorrow? If I invited you to an exclusive business presentation, would you come? Those again are non-pushy, non-intrusive ways to get somebody to commit to something. And this again are the steps to a sales cycle. I firmly believe, as I've said in the past, that it's important that you believe that ultimately you are helping them make a great decision by opening their mind to trying the products, and a great decision if they decide to sign up as ambassadors. And that's where your belief in what we're doing comes through. Again, a phrase that's not pushy, not salesy, etc. So what did you like best? It's a good question, because it encourages conversation after you finish your spiel. Okay, so after they've seen the business opportunity, asking what did you like best, it asks for a positive response. And again, it's all wording here. So you want to get an idea of what their focus is and what exactly about the opportunity piqued their interest, as opposed to saying, what did you think? Which again, that almost is begging a negative response. But keep it positive. So when somebody says what they like best, that's awesome, great. I felt very much the same way. What else? What else did you like about this? So keep it positive and build on that. What time works for you? Okay. This is something that I think people, they tiptoe because they don't want to feel like they're being intrusive. But sometimes, again, and it goes back to really believing that you're helping them make a good decision here. And that's the point of all this. So when you get to a statement like what time works for you, because if you say to somebody, all right, let's get together, or let's get on the phone or a Zoom or whatever, and let me talk about this. When might you be able to do that? I guarantee you people will push it off, and you start giving them outs, and people will take them. So you don't ever let them get back to you. This is when we talk about follow-up. When you send product out and the product arrives and you've tracked it, You follow up immediately. Make sure they understand how to take it, how to use the product effectively. Business opportunity. You follow up, you follow up, you follow up, you follow up. And people are busy, and until they make that decision to jump in with both feet, you have to stay in control of the conversation, as it were. You need to be the one to help them make these decisions. Right there in bold, it's your business, so own it. Everybody needs to really look at this as their business, as if your life depended on it. I really believe that. If you opened a business, a printing company or something, I own my own company, and you know what? If I'm not successful, if I don't put the time in, I don't eat. I don't pay my bills. I'm taking this just as seriously. I'm not in this to see how it goes, just kind of, see what happens. Once I made the decision, as we talked about in the Zoom a long time ago, once you make that decision, it's your business. Go for it. We've got everything we need here for people to become super successful doing this. So anyway, so if you're meeting up with them in person, sending them a tool, video, link, slideshow, ask them what time works best for them. If you do send something out and it's like a slideshow, and part of why you're sending it to them is to pique their interest again, and you want to follow that up. So you say, well, what time do you think you'll be able to take a look at that? Because I'd like to, talk with you while it's fresh on your mind. So find a way, if you have allowed them to look at a slideshow, don't just say, I'll call you back, I'll wait to hear from them a week, 10 days later. You say, as in the earlier slide, would you be able to take a look at this tonight? And then I'd like to call you because I'd like to see what your thoughts are. Okay, you're asking for a specific time, etc. So, will you make yourself available? Okay, I like this one because it says, again, the Jedi mind tricks. Okay, a lot of network marketers, a lot of salespeople, period, use phrases that are very, very weak and very, very passive, and do not do anything to lead people to a good decision. So phrases like can you, or are you, or could you, or all that kind of stuff. It's will you, will you, will you watch this? Will you try the product? Will you be available tonight? And I can call you back after you've had a chance to take a look. That kind of stuff. It does imply that they it says that the prospect does not have control of their time, and that outside circumstances keep them from making decisions. Okay, those are the weak passive phrases. So when you say, will you make yourself available, you are saying basically that they have total control, which is important because then they don't feel like you are manipulating them into making a decision, if that makes sense. It's their choice. It implies a benefit to them. Okay, so this is another question that's very hard to say no to. So to wrap this up, things to remember: be in a hurry. Always, always present yourself as somebody that's successful. I know people, and I've been thinking about this a lot as I've been approaching people around town. And I know there's something that I've been asked to participate in, and I look at it and go, okay, do I kind of respect or admire the people that have done this? And the answer is yes. That's a reason to do it. The answer is no, then you don't. But the air of success and confidence and your belief in this is crucial. And I can't say that enough. You need to be able to go out there and talk about this and find reasons to talk about it, find opportunities to talk about it. If you in fact believe in what we're doing here, then you need to be really, really confident in what you're approaching them with. Not tiptoeing about, well, the business, you might want to take a look. No, be confident and know that you're leading them to a good decision. Okay, so be in a hurry, be successful, be confident. See if they're open to what? Open to trying the product, open to receiving some information, getting on a Zoom. Don't be addicted to the outcome. In other words, don't take it personally. And once again, don't think that whether or not you get this one person in your business is going to make or break. One of the things I think that is very disheartening for people is they'll start talking to somebody, they'll have a conversation with them that goes on over the course of several days or a week or two, and you get so excited about the prospect of that person that the old saying about counting your eggs before they're hatched applies here. Don't get so addicted or married to the outcome of one conversation with somebody. Move on, keep it going, fill your pipeline. Ask for referrals. Ask if they know anybody that might be interested in something like this. For crying out loud, I can see, you know, if you're doing something that costs $10,000 to get in, then that might limit the people that would be interested in the business. But at this point, $25 to get in, they can pick their own level of commitment and ambition as far as any sort of enrollment pack. There's not a single person, regardless of how down on their luck they might be, that wouldn't benefit from this, from the opportunity. Focus on mutual benefit, which is the key for all sales. Find out what it is that they can gain by what you have to offer. Keep it positive and stay in control. So I hope that you guys, like I said, I research on a daily basis, and I hope you guys get as much out of these little things, these slideshows that I put together, because I find them to be very, very inspiring. And that's something that's important, is to find ways and reasons to stay motivated and positive on a daily basis. I've owned my own company for 20 years. And if you ask a self-employed person with a small business, the number one challenge that they would say, because yes, we can control our own time, we can go on vacations if we want, but the number one challenge that they all have difficulty with is the isolation and the solitude. Okay, now you're not completely alone here, because you've got all of us to help. But the bottom line is, this does come down to something that you have to do for yourself. So maintaining that inspiration and that positivity on a daily basis is really important, which is why I think it's important to set daily goals. Even if you say, I'm going to introduce this or reach out to 2 people today on Facebook, or talk to 2 people about it. Because when you can you achieve those small goals, that's what also helps you maintain the positivity and creates the momentum that a successful business is really built on. So on that note, Billy, I don't know if you have anything to kind of jump in and share.
That was some great things. It just brings back to me the amount of tools that we have as ambassadors, and everything that comes out every single week. Those are great touch points, great ways for approaching people. Rolls right along with the scripts, or using kind of the way that I'm doing things. Brings up a good point for me. The whole time I was sitting here listening to Jeff, I enjoy every second of it. I've been asked so many times, Billy, how did you do this? Or what are you doing? For me, I looked Jeff straight in the eyes, and I told him, I said, I have a hard time kind of explaining what I'm doing. And to sum it up, it's passion and it's determination. That's all it is. There's a new ambassador on here tonight. Her name's Shelby. I went to high school with Shelby in Oregon. And she, I reached out to her. I haven't spoke to Shelby in 11 years, since we graduated high school. I reached out to her with the typical, hey, Shelby, do you use CBD products? Or does anybody around you use CBD products? She immediately responded with a response that her grandma uses CBD and her dad, which I'm telling you guys, this is becoming more and more popular. This is a booming market that we're in right now. We're in the front seat with amazing products. So it was really special. From there, I did my typical send her PDFs. Long story short, after a few days and quite a few questions, which is going to happen, we're here to help you guys if you get questions you cannot answer. Shelby is now an ambassador, and she's pumped up. She sees what we're doing. And the special part about this was that we haven't spoken 11 years. She asked me, she's like, Billy, what made you reach out to me? That's the coolest question I've been asked. Nobody's asked me that yet. After 11 years, we haven't spoke a single word. And I told her, I'm so passionate about what I'm doing here, and the way that these products have helped me change my life, change the people's lives around me. I reach out to every single person that I know. I'm not afraid of the no. I'm not afraid of rejection. The worst that you're ever going to tell me is no. I'm okay with that. I'm going to go on to the next person. It's not that I'm doing this as a salesman. I'm doing this as a passionate individual. I'm just like you guys. I'm a nervous Nelly. I get up here. The Zooms make me nervous as heck. I'm just a normal Joe Blow that is very passionate about what we're doing. And obviously with that is the passion is driving success. I'm 100% confident that every single person on this Zoom, every person in this company can have the same success, if not more than I do. It's all about not being afraid to ask. the worst that anyone is ever going to tell you guys is no. And that's something that I believe with all my heart. We have something that's very special. And if you focus on that and reaching out and incorporate this and just offering to help people, that's what we're doing. We're not doing this to get rich overnight. Although, like Jeff said, in my opinion, and his opinion, and many others, this is one of the best compensation plans in the business. So what we have here is amazing. We're ambassadors because we're proud. And I believe that with everything that I have here. We're proud of what these products have done for us, what they will do to us, and what they will do to everybody around us. As Jeff mentioned, some people may not be interested, but there's always people in their lives. If you reach out to every single person you know and ask them, do you know 2 people in your lives that you really think could benefit from these products? Everybody does. That's the thing. Every person knows 2 people that could really benefit from these products that we're using, whether that's a retail customer, a VIP member, or an ambassador like you and me. There's people that are going to benefit from this.
And the key ability to follow that up, like what you said when we had this conversation about when we're trying to pin down how to share what it is that you're doing. And you made a great point that you really can't put your finger on it. All the tools that we've come up with, all the scripts, all the process, all that kind of stuff, it is there for people to use and find out a process that works for them. But I will tell you, and we've talked about this, the number one thing that you are selling here is yourself and your belief in what we're doing. So for people that go, I don't want to talk about this to people because of what they're going to think or whatever else. When I'm approached with things, I am more likely to not only listen, but to act if somebody is being genuine and passionate about what they're doing. If you're not confident, it comes across as if you're not confident in what you're sharing. So the number one thing, like Billy said, is regardless of what scripts, regardless of what magic direct marketing phrases you use, the bottom line is being passionate and not being shy about literally shouting this from the mountaintops, because we have something here that is life-changing for some people. It's really remarkable. So passion and belief. I will listen to somebody that believes in what they're doing all day long. But if I think that somebody's trying to sell me, in other words, if I think they're trying to just manipulate me and they don't believe in it themselves, that comes across. So, it's a lot about getting your mind right too, when you're talking to people, and always being prepared. So stick around, everybody, because we're going to do the drawing in just a couple of minutes. But I did want to ask: are there any questions or comments about business building stuff in general? What you heard tonight? Your thoughts or comments? I know you have questions, and we know that some of you, because you talk to me every week and go, I know I wanted to ask this, but I don't feel like talking up on the Zoom, as if there's something you're going to say that's going to embarrass yourself. Thoughts, comments about what you've been doing, what's not working, what's working, etc. And I won't force you to speak. I see Shelby down there in the corner, and it looks like she's talking, but I don't know if she. There she is.
Thank you for bringing me on. Thank you for bringing me on and being part of it.
Well, this is Billy's friend that he had not spoken to for 11 years. And Billy said, what a great question. What made you reach out to me? And I will tell you, I think we all know, it wasn't because Billy's trying to make money by drumming up these relationships. It's you start thinking, if you believe in what we're doing and how this is helping people from a product standpoint, but also what is put in front of them and what is, put in front of all of us with regard to the opportunity to make some money while we're doing this. I would be more upset if somebody didn't reach out to me, because I will tell you that if I found out about this a year from now and I found out that I wasn't approached about it, I'd be more upset than when I was approached about it. But Shelby, thank you, and welcome.
Yeah, and I'll tell you guys, I believe 100%. Fast forward 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, everybody's going to be taking CBD. And I'm on a mission to make sure everybody's getting CBD from me or somebody that I know, because it's something that's growing so fast. Guys, keep this in mind. by 2022, this is projected to be a $23.4 billion industry, right? We're in, you, me, every ambassador in this company is in on the ground floor of this with the potential to grow. The potential is endless. The opportunity and the amount of wealth that can come with this, I say this to every person I talk to. If we focus on the health side of this and what we're doing and just focus on reaching out, be passionate, not pushy, reach out and just get the products to people, let them understand it. The wealth over here is coming like a freight train, 10 times full. And I believe that. And I know there's a lot of other ambassadors on here. And my biggest thing, I don't want you guys to think that I'm the only one having success with this. I'm having a ton of success, but I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of other ambassadors that are getting their two people. They're becoming activated, making money. The retail, we don't want to forget about the retail commission that comes along with this. By doing absolutely nothing besides sending somebody to your website, you make 25%. It's huge. So we don't want to lose track of what we're doing here. It's all baby steps and getting comfortable. Your approach may be similar to Jeff. Jeff and I have totally separate approaches to this. It could be like Lindy. She's had a ton of success. Victoria, everybody. There's so many people that I see, especially since we fired up the Reaction Dream Team and people are really posting on there and welcoming new ambassadors. It gets me so excited. And I said this earlier when we started the Zoom. Tuesday nights, I sit here till 12, 1 o'clock in the morning because I'm so pumped up. I'm excited. We talked about some new things to get me excited. I hope you guys are feeling that same excitement as I am.
Great point. And last, before we get to the drawings, Billy, if nobody has anything else to say, Billy said something that is really important. There are a lot of people that are hearing about CBD, still plenty who haven't, but there are people that have heard of it. And the worst thing that can happen to any of us is for us to tiptoe around with this and reach out to somebody 3 months from now that we could reach out to tomorrow and have them go, oh, you know what? I actually just started taking this other product, or I actually just signed up with this other company, or whatever it is. That's the worst thing that can happen. So like Billy said, a lot of people are using CBD now. More people are going to be using it in the future. They should be using Reaction, and they should be getting it from you, is the point. So, and the last thing, Billy, I know I said the last thing just now, but the last thing is, like, we talk about Billy being our top earning ambassador, and it's true, he is our top earning ambassador, but we do have a number of people literally in even less time than Billy's been involved that have made, I think, 30,000 in the 20s, 15. So there's a lot of people that are starting to meet success, and I don't want to toot my own horn. And by the way, guys, I'm corporate. I wasn't corporate first and then an ambassador. I was an ambassador first, and I'm still an ambassador. And that is where my focus is building my business. But as some of you may have seen, I was able to go out and buy a new truck last week. And I got a little puppy as well, who is locked up in her crate in the other room at the moment, just so you all know. But that's all because of Reaction. That's all because of My Life Simple. It's there. So I encourage everybody, again, find reasons to be positive every single day, and let's build this together, because I think we're onto something great. So on that note, it's time for the big drawing, and this just in from our home office in Omaha, Nebraska. Thank you, Catherine, for that. I got my favorite vehicle ever I've had in my life was a Dodge Ram diesel that I had many years ago that I bought new, that I loved for my business. And I've been without a truck now for a long time. And I'll get to that in a second, Kim. I was able to go out and buy a Dodge Ram black on black 1500, which is just sweet. I love it. And yeah, I'm thrilled about being able to do that. So, and I want to help everybody do that for themselves too, based on what it is that they want and need. So two things. Yes, Sharon complimented me on our new girlfriend. For those of you who don't know, I am in a relationship now with a 8-week-old puppy. That is an Italian Greyhound mixed with a boxer pit. And I didn't realize how we're going to say affectionate. Another word could be needy. How affectionate and needy Italian Greyhounds are, but she doesn't let me leave her sight usually. And her name, and I'll wrap this up, but I had a couple of names I was trying to decide between, and I ultimately named her Penelope. But after a conversation today with several people who kind of put me in my place, they said you can't name a dog. And somebody's mentioned this on my post, but I didn't realize it was true, that you don't want to name a dog a name that has more than 2 syllables. Apparently there's some psychology involved here. So, so Reaction was out, because that's 3. But it was Penelope but I think I've actually reconsidered that. I think her name is going to be Bryn, for Brindle, because she's a Brindle kind of pooch. She's got the Brindle marking. So Bryn, I think, is going to be the name. Anyway, on that note, while you are all just digesting that amazing information from the world of Jeff Arbaugh, I'm going to go ahead and announce the winners of tonight's T-shirts. The number one winner, or the first winner, I should say, is Tracy Deaver. Is Tracy still on?
Tracy.
Billy, you can kind of.
Yeah, let me look here.
Because I think Tracy is new,
Yep,
and I'm not
she's
sure
on.
that she's.
So Tracy, just send a message in the chat bar there with your shirt size, and we'll make sure to get that out to you. They're all unisex men's shirts, so size accordingly on that.
And the second winner of the T-shirt tonight, how about this, is somebody that's new, that's from Oregon, Shelby Blasdale. Did I say that right?
All right.
Your girl Shelby just got herself a Reaction T-shirt. Woo!
Thank you.
You're welcome, Shelby. 24 hours, man, you're in. You got a T-shirt.
All right.
Flying. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome on board. There's no more questions, guys.
Put your size in there in the chat bar and make sure we can get that out to you.
Perfect. Yes. And Catherine, to you too. Everybody have a great week. Reach out. Go get them. Set some goals for yourself. As we talked about last week, there's absolutely no reason why we all can't be killing this literally with a $25 cost to sign up. So be proud, be confident, go out, shout it from the mountaintops, and really believe in what we're doing, and believe that you're helping people make a good decision here, which I firmly believe you are. So thanks again. Have a great week, and we'll see you all next Tuesday.
I want to remind everyone, tomorrow night is the product Zoom too. I know there's a few new ambassadors on here. So tomorrow night at 8, I'm sure the links will be getting sent out. Make sure that you invite not only you, but people that you may have interested. It's great information. So Victoria and Lindy do a great job of explaining these products, way better than Jeff and I. We're here to help you, pump you up on the business side of this. They do an amazing job. I get on there every single week and actually learn a lot of new things. Believe it or not, guys, 8 months ago, I didn't know the first thing about CBD. Still to this day, I'm no doctor. I'm not a scientist. I'm learning every single day. We're just doing this. We have a long journey ahead of us, and we learn every single day. So have a great week, guys, and we'll talk to you soon.
See everybody on Saturday if you're in the area. Join us, 10 o'clock, Mooresville.